Billy Beige here. Today I'm looking at the Gundam Universe Gundam EX from the show Gundam Requiem for Vengeance that showed up on Netflix. And I personally enjoyed all the mobile suit fights and perspectives in there. The story's a story. It's not bad. It's not the most amazing thing that's ever been made, but it was enjoyable content to me. Now, two things about this thing before getting into it. One, the price. Usually Gundam Universe figures, the general, basic releases, stuff like that, which I think this one should fall into because it is just, a mobile suit, a shield, weapon, little tiny accessories, stuff like that. This figure is $39.99. The general releases, like just going off like the MSRP on Big Bad Toy Store, is $24.99. So this thing is like $14 more than normal stuff. Does it warrant that? We're going to find out with this. The second thing is, in all the product shots for this versus the show, and also versus the high grade kit, the one in 1/44th scale one in the show, and that kit, it has where on his right side, there's like a cannon of some sort that's attached to his backpack that pops up, shoots. Fantastic, awesome little Gatling cannon thing going on there. Awesome. On the high grade, it has it. On all the product shots for this, it did not. I doubt that was changed or fixed because with action figures and toys, it takes about a year to a year and a half from the start to getting in your hands. That's like all the production, shipping, stuff like that. That's how long it takes to make an action figure. I don't care what anyone says. That's how long it takes. Find out. So let's go ahead and just open them up. Look at the package real quick. Like, the package is really cool. I like the Gundam XE on there is really neat. It shows the standard stuff on back. Like, oh, look, it bends here. Oh, it's got movement there. And then it shows the other figures. It says more coming, but really this is the one that's more coming because this is out, this out, this out. And this is 37. And I think the Zaku has where it's like 38, but it hasn't come out yet. This popped up on Big Bad Toy Store, and I went ahead and just like shipped it by itself because I was like, you know what? I gotta know. Was this worth it? So let's see what he's got in package here. All right. Okay, so there is a lot going on in here. He's got beam saber blades. He got some hooks. He's got some saber hilts there, handles, alt hands, the shield, his beam rifle, the backpack, and then the arm to hold the beam sabers in. And make 100% sure. Yeah, on this backpack, take a look at it. There's no spot for it, so maybe it just has where it attaches a different way. We're gonna find out how this attaches real quick. Come here, thing. You thing. So there's no spot there, so it must go directly into his back. This is what I'm curious about. Okay, here we go. So yeah, it was never meant or made or altered to have that second one there. So that's fun. Is there any markings on there? Any hints to manufacturer stuff on there? Because it just has that right there. If that means anything to anyone. But yeah, that just attaches into here. Neat. I'll do that in a second. Let's take a look close at the figure real quick. It has the red eyes on there, and I think that was also shown in the product shot there. It didn't have any other color eyes. So you got that menacing red, white devil look to him. You can see the metal pins in there. Because I mean, like, these figures, as much as I'm like, oh yeah, they're action figures, the way they're put together with like I can't remember, like it's not, I think it's a C pin is what goes in there, where what was in that joint there. It's more like a mix between a model kit and an action figure here, just from just that construction point of view. And it really is a good successor to the mobile suit and action line. I had a ton of those as a kid. I loved those, and I'm excited that these are just bigger versions. Let's just dump it all out there. There we go. I'm going to take a second and put all his stuff together on him so he's up to snuff, and then we're going to take a look at everything he can do. All right, before I get too far in, let me go over articulation, because I didn't want to put everything on him and then wiggle around with a shield stuck in there. Because, his shield has where it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a pain to get into his hands that you're going to be heating up to have that shield in there. So let's go over articulation real quick. Because, again, this thing is like $40, so what's going on here? So he has a double ball in his neck, so he can go down so far, up so far, a little side to side. You can rotate it around, obviously. It's good. It's good. He has a ball in the shoulder, and he has a hinge. This has where it's on like a little bit of a ball, so it can kick up a little bit. It works out there. Twist at the top of the bicep. Double elbows that can get really, really good there, so he can reach across himself some. If twist, so he can reach across like that, about that far, which is a lot for a lot of mass market action figures out there. This is a lot. Ball at the wrist, pops out actually, not too hard right there, so you can swap out hands. Not bad. When you get to his torso, it has a ball in the top here, and then it has a hinge, and then it has where on that hinge it has a not swivel, but another hinge into it. So let's just pop them apart here. So you got the ball. That's the inside of the Gundam EX. There's like a little hyped up 12-year-old in there, I guess. So yeah, so you got like this hinge here, which can go pretty far back, but it's limited by the armor and everything. And it has this hinge that goes back and forth right here. It's really tight. It only goes so far. This is just floating here. There's nothing that this attaches to, so it's good there. This is just where that pushes in there, I suppose, to put that together. Because, so I can show this, it has the skirt armor here, has where it hinges, but also like you can kind of pivot, and like that's also a little bit of a ball, a little bit. Let me pull it out. Nope, just a peg. My bad. This way you pull things apart so we know. So these are also on hinges here, and they go up really far, so you can get a lot out of the legs. And the legs, let's just keep on trucking, guys. Now I'm gonna pop them back together. So they're on a ball right there, but also they have where they're drop down hips, which is awesome for, again, mass market figures. Is great. So yeah, that drops down so far. With the hip skirt, you can kick. Let me drop them down. You can kick up so far with that. Go so far out. If you drop it down, you drop it down so far. The hip skirts there. Pop those back down because I just showing too much of the biz. He has it feels like a twist, but really I think it's actually like another ball joint in there for at the top of the hip, which is neat if that's what it is. I have where I'm a little traumatized from a review I'm working on right now for the was it Loose Collector's Great Wolf, and that top of the hip articulation is traumatized me right now. For his knees, I thought it would honestly be more because it is double, but like it only goes so far back there. It'd been neat to get further on that, but it is what it is, sadly. He's got a like hinge at the top here. This is solid here. So don't try to kick back too far because you'll end up kind of like stressing that out. And I'll go over stress marks in a second because I had a couple. Well, I had one on this one. So this has where it goes up and down right there, so you can get a good look in there. I think that is. Oh, that's actually a ball. Well, that's cool. And they have a ball at the foot, so you can kick up, kick back, get a little rocker right there, and then you can see that crazy balancing toe there. People were upset about that for a second, but I don't mind it. It's a thing. But yeah, that's the articulation on there. I'll get him back together, and we'll just look at him completely put together. All right, before I forget it, Gundam EX's accessories. So, of course, he comes with beam sabers. He's got 3 beam saber hilts, and they all attach to his beam saber arm mount thing. So they all can be pulled off. He comes with beam saber blades. They're well painted, hard plastic, so be careful that you don't bend them or break off the tip that attaches to them. But they go in there, they stay, they're pretty sturdy. That's great. He also comes with accessory hands, and accessory hands, extra hands, have where they're in a trigger grip to hold both the beam saber and also the beam rifle. Sorry, my sinuses are shot right now, so yeah. Just be careful getting the hand in there to hold the beam rifle, because again, this has where it's that hard plastic that has where it's 2 parts put together. So like again, this too could also like bend if you have where like you put stress on it and get a stress mark. But again, if you get a stress mark, heat it up with a heat gun, and it should like reflow that color through there, so it won't have like a big nasty white mark on there. One thing I did notice, this also may be because it's turned cold here. Removing the hands from the wrists. So it may just be, it's probably just where it's cold. Because again, the fists were tight in there, pulled them out, popped in the other hands, and they were good. But now, like, I got like a loosey-goosey here, so I'll probably just have to heat that up. If it is a bigger issue than that, I'll just put like a little bit of, oh, goodness gracious. Well, I can't remember off the top of my head. Polyurethane. What? I'm losing my mind. But this is also a shield. The shield looks great. It comes with a handle. It's removable. Wonderful. I did it going sort of downwards so his hand could get a little bit more into it. That way, I feel like it got stopped the other way a little bit more. So this had where it seemed like the most correct way to put it on there. I do wish it had where it moved up and down a little bit, because I think it'd look better if I could get it down just a little bit further, because he has those long orangutan arms, kind of, that go to his knee. But that's it for accessories. Let's move on. Here's Gundam EX with Charzaku, Ahaya Toys Godzilla, Showa Godzilla, and one of the original Mobile Suit in action figures. What I can say about this, it's crazy that this figure on the left from 2024 is far less articulated than the figure on the right from, oh god, it's probably, it can't be 20 years ago now at this point. I can't remember if this figure came out in like 2007 or 2009, or if it came out earlier than that. Wow, because like this version is the Japanese version. The version I had was the American version. This one just has different paint apps and like a little bit added articulation in the shoulder. But it's crazy that these got bigger, but then they got less articulation. And I dare say the figure on the right has more articulation than more of the more super articulated figures we have nowadays. But the figure looks fantastic. It has where it strikes the poses. I can't remember the proportions in the show. If I think it was where his hands reached all the way down to his knees, because it looks like he has very long arms on the figure. Anyway, I'll have to relook at the show itself and the high grade and everything else they're putting out with this. But the only thing I don't like is it doesn't have that cannon on the right side. That's it. Everything else, this figure has where it moves good, it looks good. Having that one little kind of like bent antenna wasn't a big issue for me, because like let's be real, if you watch this channel, usually I end up with like a lot of problems I gotta fix. With this guy, everything's tight where it should be tight. Everything moves where it needs to move. I'm happy with it. is it worth $39.99? Ugh. If you were a fan of Gundam Requiem, oh god, I can't even speak. Requiem for a Vengeance. Requiem for a Vengeance. Oh. If you're a fan of the show, and you were like, hey, this is an awesome Gundam design. For the most part, the show is this awesome kind of like Gundam slasher, because until you find out who the pilot is of this Gundam, it is very ominous. It is horrifying. Every time it shows up on screen, you're like, oh, those Zeon troops are screwed. These Zakus are screwed. Those goofs are doomed. Just all that. But once you find out who the pilot is, it kind of loses that horror there. I think if they would have just never shown who the pilot was, still have where they show him on base for a second there, but not say that is the pilot, it would have been an amazing kind of horror show, honestly, because seeing the stuff that this Gundam does to the Zeon forces is a war crime. This is Gundam war crime. This is Gundam murder machine. That's why I want it, because it was a monster of a mobile suit. Hey, but if you had where you're a fan, pick up this figure. If you had where you like the design and you don't want to build a model kit, pick up this figure. If you can build a model kit, pick up that model kit, because it is cheaper than this. I will say that. But this is good to go. Again, any bent plastic, hit it with a heat gun real quick. It will take away those white stress marks. Just saying. But tell me what you think down below in the comments. Did you watch Gundam Requiem for Vengeance? Was there any part of it you liked? Did you have where you didn't like it? Because, I mean, it was a little polarizing there. It had some stuff going on in it that people kind of had where they latched onto. But it is what it is. I enjoyed the show because it was more content for Gundam, and it was new, and it was something fun to watch. I enjoyed that. But let me know down in the comments. This has been Billy Beige. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, guys. Frickin' murder machine here. Love it.